So one of the most common questions I usually get is, Cynthia, why do you drive a G-Wagon but you don't have a warehouse? Well, it's my preference not to have a warehouse. I mean, maybe one day I eventually will want to get one if my operation ever gets to that level. But for right now, I'm enjoying my time doing other things. I do have a coaching program, so a lot of my time is spent coaching my students and making sure that they're succeeding on Amazon. So I do have a storage unit where I do prep some of my inventory. If a supplier is near my area, near California, then I'll just have them ship it to me if they're okay with the residential address or okay with a storage facility type of commercial address, then I'll just have them ship it to me and I'll prep it at my storage unit. But typically these type of shipments are under 100 units because I don't want to spend hours and hours prepping thousands of units. I just don't want to keep doing that, and it's kind of hot right now, so I don't see myself spending hours doing that. I'd rather use a third-party prep center and have them receive all of my pallets, and I just log it on a computer, have them send it to FBA, and I kind of just oversee the operation from my laptop. So you don't have to have a warehouse, you don't need a storage unit, you can use a fulfillment center, and whatever you feel comfortable doing, that's what you can do to get your inventory out to Amazon. I know some suppliers do ship directly to Amazon, but those suppliers are typically hard to find because they don't have the infrastructure to label and prep and ship boxes directly to Amazon up to their standard. So let's just get right into the video, and I'm going to show you guys how I prep my shipments when they arrive at my house. Okay, all right, so first things first is you're going to need a little bit of supplies. For this shipment, I'm not going to be using any poly bags, but normally if like you have beauty products like this, you would need a poly bag just like this with the suffocation warning just on it. And then obviously you're going to need like some tape, and then maybe a box cutter and a weight scale as well, something like this, so you can weight the boxes. But this one, this shipment here already has like the weight on it from my supplier. So once I prep this, I'm just gonna put it back in the same box and I'm just gonna ship it off like that. So I'm shipping out these knives that I got from one of my suppliers, and I will show you guys how it looks. So this is the product that I'm going to be shipping out. Yes, I sell knives on Amazon. So these don't really require poly bags. I'm actually not even going to take them out of the sleeves that they came in. They're already nicely packed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slap the label right here, the FNSKU. And then I'm just going to pack them up and put them back in the same box that it came in and ship them off. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it actually is. So let's go back over here to my office. And this is the printer that I use. I totally love it because you can actually use 2x1 labels, and you can also fix it in the back here. You can adjust it for 4x6 labels. It's wireless, works perfectly fine. Now to create the shipment, I am using 2D workflow. So it's my software of preference where I like to make my shipments. You could make your shipments on Seller Central. I just don't like the UI, the user interface, and how the shipments are made. So you can use BOXEM or 2D workflow to basically streamline your whole shipping process and get those 2D barcodes that get the shipments checked in quicker with Amazon. And you can also pick what distribution center you want to send your inventory to. So that's a cool little feature about 2D workflow that I really like. So that's why I use it. So let's print the FNSKU labels and then prep this shipment and send it off to Amazon. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the boxes, I'm gonna weigh them, and I'm gonna enter that data into 2D workflow so that it can give me the FNSKUs, and then I can just easily print the shipping labels and estimate the shipping costs and everything like that. So this one is 17 by 10 by 8. And the weight is already on the box, so it's 4.5 kilograms. I'll just make the conversion with ChatGPT, and then I'm gonna prep up the inventory. So now I'm gonna enter all of that information into 2D workflow. All right, so I've entered all the data. Now I'm gonna create the box content, and I am going to print these labels now. So we're gonna hit 30 labels. There we go, there we have the FSQs. They're gonna be 2x1. All right, hopefully I get this right on the first shot. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. All right, cool. Perfect format. Love the sound of that. All right, now I think we did kind of cut one off here, so I'm gonna just make one extra label. All right, now we prep a shipment. All right, hopefully this is a little bit better of a setup. So I just laid out one of the boxes here in front of me, and all I'm simply gonna do is just put the labels here. So that way when Amazon opens the box, it's easy for them to scan them in. And I'll show you guys what exactly this looks like. So I'm just putting the labels just like that. I'm not even gonna take these out. I'm just gonna leave them in there. I guess you can call this the lazy way of making a shipment. Obviously, like if I had a whole, like, you know, my warehouse when I soon have one, this would be streamlined a lot better. But for now, just to do it out of my house, you know, just for the beginners that are just getting things going, this will do for now. All right, so that's done. All right, so the second box is now completed. These, I actually took them out of the sleeves because the sleeves were a little bit too messed up, and I didn't want Amazon to like charge me for a relabel fee. In some cases that will happen, and heads up, Amazon will sometimes lose your inventory. Not to worry though, you could open a claim and claim lost inventory, and usually they do reimburse you the full value of the inventory that was lost in their warehouse, in their fulfillment center, or if it was damaged by an employee or it got lost, they will reimburse you for that. But you kind of have to go and open those cases and go through that trouble of actually recouping those funds. And if you're not on top of it, that's leakage for your business as well. So there is a service that I use. It's called Sellers Investigators, I believe. They take like 20% of whatever they recover for you, but it's kind of cool because you don't have to worry too much about having to go after Amazon and getting everything from them. All you need is the invoices that prove that you bought the inventory from a legit distributor, and they will reimburse you the full value of the inventory. Another thing that you can do is you can hire a virtual assistant to sort of mitigate those losses and do all that heavy lifting for you as well. So just a couple of things to keep in mind when you're using the FBA system. Now, I do use FBM. I do a little bit of fulfillment by merchant myself in order to avoid the FBA fees, the inbound shipping fees, the placement fees, the storage fees, all of the fees that are associated with Amazon FBA. I try to mitigate those fees by doing a little bit of FBM as well on the side. And I also do FBA. So you can do both fulfillment methods. You don't have to just do FBA as well. So FBM is a little bit more profitable. The only thing you have to cover really is the shipping label, and that will depend on what region you're sending the inventory to. So let's say I'm in California and a customer buys from my store in New York. That's already across the states. That's gonna cost a lot. So you have to optimize your shipping template to reflect those shipping times and the handling time. And you can also add a fee for people that are on the other coast as you. And I'll make another video on optimizing your shipping template as we ease in on Q4. I'm super excited for Q4, by the way. But yeah, this one's done. So now we're gonna get our shipping labels. We're gonna remove all of this that's on the box, because you don't want people to know about our suppliers. And then we're gonna schedule a UPS pickup. All right, so here's where the magic happens. I just hit this plan shipping button on 2D Workflow, and it is coming up with Amazon's proposed shipping plans for this shipment. And then I will be able to pick which fulfillment center I want to send my inventory to. All right, so we got a couple options here where it's only showing the placement fee. So this one here is 2,500 miles away. That is pretty far for $6 placement fee. A 2,000 mile radius for $9. And then we have 1,000. I don't know why Amazon, like, the closer it is, the more they want to charge for the placement fee. Go figure. Amazon being Amazon. So I want my inventory to get checked in pretty quickly, and I want to sell through fast because I want to turn over this cash quickly, right? So I'm gonna go with the one that's nearest me. So we're gonna estimate this one. All right, so I just calculated the shipping for all of the options. So if we check the first option, which was the furthest away, it's $30 to ship my inventory, including the placement fee. The second option, which is 2,000 miles away, it's $9 placement, it's $23 shipping. And then the third option, which is the closest one, which is 1,000 miles away, $12 placement plus $16 shipping fee. So this is actually the cheapest one. It's also the closest to me, which is actually perfect. So I'm actually gonna go with this one here and seal the deal. Okay, now we will print our shipping labels. And then we will attach them on the boxes and schedule our UPS pickup. So there you have it. It wasn't really that hard. It's pretty simple actually to create a shipment and send it off to FBA. And if you're stuck and you don't want to do this all alone, you want to bounce ideas off other sellers and network with other sellers and also get my help one-on-one to fast track your success and scale your business, I can provide you with suppliers, I can provide you with products, I can help you do it all. You don't have to do this alone. There'll be a link in the description. Fill that form out, book a call, let's have a chat, and I'll see you guys in the next video.